So, when you play through the game, this will kind of give you a rundown. So every video I've had up to this point, for the second series here, will kind of give you an idea of what I've accomplished so far on it. And this kind of calculates how well you actually did throughout the game that you played there. Yeah, so we never actually made the AAA games. And you can also make your own consoles later too. I'm going to continue playing through a little bit more because I know there is some content that I have not actually unlocked yet. So if you're interested in seeing some of that content, I'm basically going to play through until I unlock a bit more of it. Like, for example, AAA games. If you want to figure out a little bit more about AAA games, then that is going to be pretty much one of the next areas I'm going to try to focus on whenever I get to it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly where you have to go for getting that particular setup, so... And I probably should have looked at actually where I put all those last ones at. Obviously, I was slightly distracted, but I have a feeling this game's going to do terrible too. Now let's give it some magazines and demos. Just type it a little bit. So, simulation and action, yeah, we'll just leave it that way. Okay, so you can tie that in addition to the 3D graphics, so we can actually select both of those. And virtual economy. And let's go ahead and boost everyone else. And we'll just do medium boost. I have a feeling we're taking a loss regardless, but we're also over $1 billion at this point, so even if we took a loss of 50 million, it doesn't really matter that much. We had such major success in some of the previous games that we can actually take a few losses here and there and probably just shrug it off like it was nothing. Normally, if you were to design a game and lose 50 million, it's still a pretty bad thing, but overall the business could take it, so... Because our design's pretty bad, our technology's pretty bad on this one. Alright, let's go ahead and release that. Well, it wasn't a terrible game. I mean, it's 7s and 8s, maybe? Yep, so... averages out to 7.5, so at least we're going to make money on it. Won't be a ton of money like if we do it like straight 10s all the way down. I think the next thing I'm going to do is basically just jack up my research as much as possible. Unfortunately, what I'm probably going to do is a huge money sink, so usually if you're trying to just get a lot of research points, this is a method of doing so. However, it's basically trading lots of money for research points. So which it depends, like in my case I'm over 1 billion, so I could see burning 200 million pretty easily without much worry on it. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to create a massive engine. And we're going to keep creating, and we're just going to give them generic names. I'm not actually going to give a legitimate name, because pretty much what we're doing is we're throwing everything we can onto that game engine. And this is in order to just get a lot of extra research. Yeah, so we made 64 million on it, so it's not too bad. I probably spent all of 10 to 12 million making it, at the very, very most. Let's do some research. Yeah, so we're just going to go through and start researching everything. I just want to clear up as much of these as I can, so see that one, do that one, do that one, and generate game report. And let's go create another engine. We'll give it another generic name. There's another thing to remember too, is that if they're currently researching other stuff, they're not going to be able to help with finishing those. And as their bar goes down, they're going to do this a little bit more slower, so... as I told you, this is pretty much just a money sink. I may try to burn down to like 1.1 billion. We're going to start sending people on vacation. It'll slow down our engine making, but that's fine. As I plan on making a few of these engines, so... Then as they come back, they'll start helping out with it as well. So that one's completed, so let's do some more research. I guess we have 80, so let's do moral choices. In fact, let's have that complete, because if we have it complete, then we can attach that to the engine. Usually the more expensive you make the engine, the longer it takes to build it, and in turn, the more research you can make out of it. So we'll create another custom engine. We'll add that, we'll add that. We'll add those. And we'll create another one. Since we're not building any games anytime soon, we're just going to boost everybody. And hopefully make it to 80 again. Yep, so we can get another thing to add to it. Create custom engine. We're going to start creating it. And as I mentioned, this is just a really good avenue. This probably won't be as interesting of a video compared to the rest, but this is more so just another avenue for me to get a lot of research points. It seems to be the quickest avenue, and all you're doing is basically trading money into that. Obviously, you can see that I'm just burning through money at this point, though. I mean, I've lost about 15 million since I've started this, but I've also gained quite a bit of research points out of that. Normally there's better avenues of getting research points, but for some reason I still haven't unlocked the other two things, so we're going to continue adding these things on here. So we'll just do 2 of the 80s. So what we could probably do is just get the advanced body language, because I think that replaces the simple one, so okay, so apparently I have to get the simple first. Actually, wait for those both to complete. And we'll create yet another engine. Yeah, we'll skip that again. I don't really need it. Let's try skill trees. Yeah, actually let's do interactive story. We'll do another engine. Yeah, so eventually the goal is to get the research station or the lab, because that's going to give me a lot more research instead of doing this.